Hey everybody, this is Dr. Flight. I hope you're doing great. This is just a simple and quick midweek summary or review for week number 6, MBA 631. I hope you're doing great. Quick announcement, I went ahead and pushed back the due date for case number 2 by 1 week. So it's going to be coming up, I think it's the 15th maybe, or you'll have to check. I can't remember at the top of my head, but pushed it back 1 week, give everybody an opportunity to spend a little bit more time as needed on completing that. One of the challenges, and again, I mentioned I don't like to take so long grading some of these assignments, especially the cases. They tend to take a little bit longer and too long probably. So I am aware that, that's not optimal when those don't get graded right away. So I put that out there first and foremost. I recognize that you want to get those back sooner rather than later. And so one of the artifacts of that is I want to make sure you have time to look at what you've done, some of my comments, and go forward. And a big takeaway, I think, with everybody, maybe not everybody, but a whole lot of folks, these cases have a tremendous amount of detail in them. There's a lot of data. There's a lot of information that you need to use in order to make your decisions. And in many cases, most cases, not all, but most cases, in the P&G scope case, the idea of market share and revenue, especially where it comes from pharmacies versus retail stores, was never really discussed. The idea of profit margin, and the effects of cannibalization of adding a new product, never really calculated or put into effect. There's just a tremendous amount of data and information in the case, which doesn't seem to have been used hardly at all. And so I want to encourage you that those details matter and they need to be incorporated into your write-ups. The next case is another throwback case. It's the Harvest Sun case, Frito-Lay case, Harvest Sun chips. They're deciding to go or no go on a launch on their product. And again, there's a tremendous amount of data and information in the case itself that lends itself to be discussed and used for justification for whatever decision that you make. The cases are not, your job is not to summarize what's in the case. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but it's to internalize and get to the root cause of the problem. um, in the P&G case, with Scope didn't recognize the market segment for clinical users. They were stuck on their fresh breath market segment, which was fine, and they gained tremendous market share from Listerine originally from taking that position. But now they have lost sight of the idea that there are other market segments that could erode their market share, if they don't choose to address them like Plax did. And that's the big problem. That's the big issue that's going on in the case. And so I don't know how you read the case and how that doesn't become the central issue, and then decide how they're going to approach that market segment moving forward relative to the competition that Plax has created. Again, tons of detail in the case, which many folks didn't incorporate. Also, appropriate strategy and appropriate concepts from class that have to be incorporated or that should be incorporated as well. Um, those are things I'll look up for. So the expectations for case number 2 are getting ramped up with that in mind. I don't feel like I graded particularly hard or in a difficult way or whatnot on the first case, which is fine. It's not a problem, but I do expect to see more detail and more incorporation of the facts of the case in your write-ups as we move forward. I mean, the data and information is there for a reason, and if it's not in your write-up, then I assume you didn't read it, or you didn't internalize it, or you didn't use it in your decision-making process, and that would be leaving information on the table, which we don't want to do when we make decisions. So that I would like to just kind of get off the table, and I want you to think about that a little bit as we move forward. Everyone's doing great in the class. I mean, I'm excited about all the work that you're doing. I enjoy reading all your work. The discussions have been going fantastic. This week's discussion is, I think, fascinating in a lot of ways. Again, the root cause here is we have a new entrant into a industry or market, for a theater, a movie theater, and there's a institutional practice in the movie industry called a clearance, which the new entrant didn't know about. And it impacts direct competition. It impacts how these companies, these firms compete with each other, and it's built into the structure of distribution for first run movies. And so you have to understand that as you read the article a few times, you will. It's clear as can be. But the question is, kind of how do these companies react at this point? Does the independent company have a fair case? How can they compete now, and what should they do to move forward? Is the industry structure fair? Does it create in essence, it creates an oligopoly, with a constrained set of resources that's built into the structure of the industry. And so there's a lot to think about. It's really a fascinating play on the way the real world works in some industries. And again, getting into an industry as a new entrant, you got to understand how to play the game if you're going to play it. And this new entrant didn't clearly, and so they're at a distinct disadvantage to others in the industry or others in the marketplace, other competitors. And so I enjoy looking. I can't wait to hear what you have to say and read your posts. Anyways, this is a midweek check-in. This is hopefully you guys are doing good. There's a lot of good information. The PBR articles are interesting as well. Competitive analysis by Lehman and Weiner is fun to read. It's a good topic. It's an overview of some of this material here too. Um, but anyways, I hope this is a good week for you. I hope that this material is fruitful information for you, and I do look forward to reaching out. Let me know if you have any questions or how things are going. Two other things: the first stage of the project that is being graded now as we speak. It's coming right up, and along with that, we will have an opportunity for you to evaluate your peers before we get into stage number two. The week for stage number two is coming up in another week from now. It's week 8. So we're just in week 6 now, but week 8 we have our stage 2 week. And before we get into that, though, we need to have a clear understanding of team rules, how teams are functioning, all of that stuff, so that and you want to get feedback on stage 1, and so that's coming, and before we get into that, but that's another couple weeks away, so we'll go into that. So I just want to know that's on the horizon as well. Again, hope you're having a great day, great week. Talk to you soon. Thanks.